I'm just settling in. I'm really chilling. I swear.
I like the smile.
But I am her. We just sat down.
I love the red lipstick. Don't do that. Don't try. She just got finished crushing some Wendy's, okay? Crushing it, all right? Listen, talking to my husband about all of the Malian politics and history, and then you're going to sit down.
Yes, because I don't know what you're going to throw. So
I don't know what I'm going to throw. All I have is what's out there.
All I have.
I do not have a gotcha moment. That's not how my
There
interviews
is not a gotcha moment.
I know. And listen, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? So, you know, clips out there about you sometimes do show you in a very, in my opinion, the way it's cut and clip, a very angry Black woman kind of like.
Why would I not be an angry Black woman? Why would I not be? Do you understand the world we're in?
I understand it, but I want to spend my life happy, not angry.
But I'm not you. I can't be happy about things that I know are being done like in a deceitful way.
True.
And I can't pretend, and I don't want to encourage people to pretend.
True.
So I tell the truth about things, and then people get frustrated that I am dispelling like the veneer that they have created to feel safe, and they're not safe.
Very true. However, what about quality of life? Because you know, Black women suffer from some of the most like conditions, autoimmune issues, stress issues, hormonal issues, based off of, I would say, if I had to, systematic plans, just things that have been put in place by people who have power. And so it's like we can either choose to, in my opinion, take it the best way we can and not kill ourselves too early, or
what?
Provide for our kids and live the best life we can.
I mean, I think that's a very privileged mindset, because there's a lot of folks that simply just don't have the ability to even do that. They're in the system in real time. And so if my privilege is not used to attempt to dismantle that system, then I'm just perpetuating it. I'm just continuing it. And so...
But can you be happy doing it?
But I am a happy person.
And I know you are.
Yeah, but the fact that there's some level of conflict between happiness and truth is a problem, because for me, I am happiest in truth.
People should be happiest in truth. That is how we should live.
I am. And I think happy is also like a weird, you don't exist in happiness. Like you exist in your purpose, right? You exist in flow. Happy is just one of the experiences that happens in this life. But sometimes you're sad, sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're content, sometimes you're frustrated, sometimes you're annoyed. And so for me, it's like the human experience is all type of shit. Like I'm not going to be happy all the time. That's not even real. People take drugs to be happy all the time.
Oh no. I mean,
and they're not actually happy. They're miserable, but they want to feel this like euphoria that isn't real. I feel happiest when I am in nature and when I'm actually learning, right? And when I'm actually talking to people who are curious about how to get back to our like full true selves. Because we are not living in our true selves. We have been the subject of a whole psychological operation since 1950. So if we, when we talk about like Black women dealing with all these health problems and stress, etc., for ignoring the systems that cause that does not stop it.
But that's why we have people like you.
Right. But then it becomes, oh, you're annoying us because you are awakening us to these systems and we don't feel like we can stop them. And what I'm trying to do is to decolonize our people and our minds, and not just Black people, but folks who at their core really do have a sense of, I want to do right, but are living in a society that has not actually, unfortunately, has not incentivized doing good.
regardless of the disparities that's going on in our community, especially, okay, you've traveled a lot. You're well traveled, correct?
Yeah.
And you've seen a lot of those systems in place. Like there are countries and women in other countries or just people in other countries who are at a greater disadvantage than I would say the so-called disadvantages that we have here in America.
Yeah, because of America.
Because of America and other
I mean, for the most
countries.
part, it's because of the United States. United States is the global leader.
You feel that? You don't think China has anything to do with that, or
they're trying to get there? They're trying to get there, but they're not there yet. I mean, that's part of the beef. That's why you have BRICS. That's why you have China teaming up with Russia and India and Brazil. Yeah. You know, they're like, and other countries like you have Bolivia, Cuba has now apparently gotten in line with BRICS. Like the goal is to undermine the American dollar eventually. As long as the American dollar is the standard across the world, there's a certain stronghold. We also have like something crazy, like 171 military bases across the nation, across the world, the globe.
Yeah.
And where we don't have,
my parents were stationed on a few of those.
There you go.
I know. Hey,
and where
can I get some wine? She ain't drinking, but I'm drinking. Please.
And where we don't have bases, we have
white wine.
Other ways that we're controlling. So, but you were saying something.
No, what I'm saying is like, I feel that being a U.S. citizen, even though I am a Black American or American Black, you know how they say it, U.S. citizen, that I have an advantage that most people don't have, or even most women don't have across the world. And so with that, being able to show them, yes, America is wrapped in, it's under foundation, is genocide, is racism, is pedophilia. It's a lot of things that it's wrapped up in, right? But at the same time, for a woman like me that comes from absolutely nothing, right? Panama City, Florida, I never saw a Black doctor. I never saw a Black lawyer. Like I told you, I lost my case. I didn't know what to do. You know, I didn't have the education that a lot of people are afforded. Education wasn't even talked about in my family. You could call it education because the thing was you either became, you were raised, you probably had some kids before you got married. Maybe you got married, had kids, you became a CNA, a cook. That was their life, you know? But for me, somebody like me to make it out and to be able to share the knowledge, the experiences, and have a platform like I have to be able to educate, to be labeled an angry Black woman when, yes, there are things that make me angry when I see the things that we go through as women or just as people. But I choose to amplify that in a very happy way, in a very truthful way so that people will listen to me. I feel like sometimes when there's somebody like you who is extraordinarily intelligent, like Amanda, I couldn't rumble with you. I've seen you in your flow. I know what you come with. But I feel like sometimes when it comes to our people, you know, we like to feel good when we hearing something.
Yeah, that's not what I'm here to do. That's not what I'm here to do. Our people may want to feel that, but that is not how I exist.
I need a glass. Go ahead.
I mean, I exist how I exist, you know? And
but don't you want people to accept what you're saying?
But they do.
And hear it?
They do. They do. That's why I still exist in the careers that I am in.
Yeah. No,
I built my entire life off of my brain.
Listen, and
this is the thing. There's a certain group of people that you want me to be more palatable to.
I do.
And the fact of the matter, though, is
they need to hear you.
They need to hear me. However, they won't understand me if they need to hear me in a certain tone to get me. That's just the reality of the truth. If you need the truth peddled to you a certain way, you're not ready. You're not ready. And I know that because there's so many people that come to me and say, I couldn't hear you before because I was in my own ego or because your tone made me feel some type of way. And as I matured, I came to understand that your tone is your passion. Your tone is your confidence, not my arrogance, because I don't have arrogance. It's confidence. And that's what people mistake. You know, confidence is, I know what the hell I'm talking about. And it looks like arrogance because we actually see arrogance more often because we see so many people platform that don't know what the hell they're talking about. True. So they're just projecting this chest out, idea of like, I know what I'm talking about. So we think that's confidence. And it actually isn't. Confidence can be quiet. Confidence can be loud, but at the end of the day, confidence is an assurance that you've created for yourself because you've done the work. You've seen the results of your work. So you're confident. And that makes people who are not confident feel some type of way. And we live in a society that actively seeks to make us feel like we cannot be confident about anything. It constantly gaslights us. It constantly lies to us. It constantly tells us that we are not worthy. And so for me to capitulate to that is counterintuitive. No, I'm going to be who I am. And I am direct. I am sharp. I am honest. And I'm on the internet in pockets. Like people see 3 minutes and think that's your existence.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times I'm packaged by other people who don't have my best interests or the people's best interests at heart. So they will take a video and then throw on some stuff in it or throw in some stuff at the back of it, but they're actually misrepresenting what I've said. So a lot of times there's that. There's also the reality that sometimes I am stank. Yes.
I mean, I'm that way. I mean, so listen.
You said what?
I'm that way. Like
everybody is. That's why I be like, who the hell is y'all talking to? Like we're all multidimensional people.
Yeah.
You know, so I think there's a expectation for me to show up in a way that is comfortable for people. And that is a people pleasing expectation. I'm not showing up to be comfortable for you. I am in this lifetime and I'm doing my best in this lifetime. And the only way that I can best exist is in my true self. And my true self is not going to put on a front. You know, like if you want soft spoken words, my girl Tabitha is here for you every day. Tabitha gonna talk to you. She gonna cradle you to her breast. She gonna pray with you.
But what I'm saying is, with someone with your knowledge, right, and your expertise, and you've been in Hollywood, you've been out.
You're
Hollywood.
asking me to change how I
I'm
exist.
not asking you to change.
Yes, you are, because I need you to know something.
I
don't talk like this because I am putting on something. I am who I am. Like what you're seeing is this. This is not an act.
Do you know there's a world that's outside of you? Right?
Yes, and there are people
really
that
needs
speak
to
to
hear
that.
this information, but sometimes
I know
they're not smart enough to get it. And that may be based off of where they were raised, how they came up.
This is true, but this is the facts. Those folks do rock with me. The people that don't rock with me are people who are nasty, and then I say nasty and I get nasty back.
Okay.
You know, like there's plenty of ratchet chicks that rock with me. I know that because I see them and they say, I mean, I'll never forget when I was doing Hollywood, hip hop squares.
Okay.
And I remember feeling like, oh, like I don't know anybody here. Like I'm just gonna like be by myself. Mm-hmm. And K Michelle was sitting like close to me. And then Pretty V and B Simone came over. And I was like, okay, what's going to happen here? Okay. Just because I just didn't know, and they was like, we just want you to know that we love you. And I was like, really? And they was like, we think you are so smart and we just love what you about. Please keep doing what you're doing. And I was like, I had no idea the Ratchets rock with me. And K Michelle turned to me and was like, the Ratchets love you.
The Ratchets love you because we've been there and they built platforms. I'm talking about the people who don't have access to the things that we have access to, who don't have access to just a basic.
So they can go get what I'm saying from Don't Call Me White Girl from Mona.
No, I was going to end this interview, but we not.
I mean, I'm just like, I don't know what the shade is that's happening right here. So I don't know if y'all have beef or something.
There's no beef, but we're not going to. Mona and you in the same.
What I'm saying is
like you, like
because I don't know what you're trying to. I don't know what you're asking me to do. I'm talking about.
Okay, you're very well educated, right? Communication is your number one, like because you have to communicate everything that's in your brain that you read and take in every day. Some people who don't have access to certain just basic things like a basic education or a basic computer or just people around them want to hear you. But if they
What's stopping them from hearing me?
Because of the disadvantage. I grew up in a disadvantage like that. It could be the education system.
But
it could be their household.
So what am I to do differently that you're suggesting?
I don't know. Get on the ground with them.
I am on the ground. I literally have a free book tour.
I didn't know it was free.
My book tour is free.
That's pretty dope. I didn't know it was free. You bought me a book?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
My book tour is free. You don't have to have a book. You don't have to buy a book. You can just RSVP. My show, Views from Amanda Land, is free. It is 4 hours every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Amanda Seales TV. It is FREE. And it's also a podcast. My Patreon is $5. That's it. My Patreon is $5. I came back to Instagram solely because people on the ground in person would come up to me on the street and say, please come back to Instagram because you give us information.
I was going to ask you about that because I thought you had ditched me.
I did ditch Instagram. And there was, over the 4 months that I was gone, I had people in person, like you're saying, on the ground, approach me and say, please come back to Instagram because that's where I can get my information. And that's where you were giving me knowledge that I couldn't get.
Even like...
So there's nothing stopping people from getting to me. I am completely accessible. I did a podcast for 8 years. Small Doses Podcast, 8 years, free. So what part of on the ground am I not doing?
I'm just reading the comments, Amanda.
And that's the problem. Because the comments also are a bunch of people often who are speaking from a place of ignorance. And I don't say stupidity, I say ignorance. And ignorance is a lack of information.
Gotcha.
Okay? So there's this idea that there's only one version of leadership. There's only one version of influence. And that version for most people is literally Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. Like that's really where they're getting their mindset from. And they're like, if I don't see you in the streets, then you ain't doing nothing. Well, Angela Davis began as we know her as a professor. Like, yes, she is also an organizer, but she's also a professor, right? She is an intellectual. James Baldwin was not an organizer. He was an author. He was literally a writer. Nina Simone was not an organizer. She was a singer. All of these people are a part of our journey. And if we go international with it, you have Bob Marley. Bob Marley was not an organizer, but he was a musician whose music was grounded in revolution. And so when we do this thing where we try to say that people can only exist in one way, it's literally not true. And we've seen it so many times that it doesn't make sense to then apply that to me. I have been an artist my whole life.
I was going to ask, that was my next question. Who is Amanda?
But I've been an artist my entire life. I've been in the Screen Actors Guild since I was 10. I've been an artist my entire life. I'm an artistic intellectual. I went to school because I knew that it wasn't going to be enough for me to just speak about the world from my experience. I wanted to be able to speak from other people's experiences, from other people's knowledge and wisdom. And so I went to go get my master's at the now trash Columbia University.
Well, how did Columbia catch a stray like that?
Columbia caught a stray when Columbia capitulated to Zionists and put their faculty and students in harm's way by calling the NYPD on them when they were peacefully protesting their money being used in a genocide.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah.
So you can watch the Encampments documentary at Watermelon Pictures and learn about that. That's First Amendment rights. Out of there. And that was Biden's administration. So Amanda is an artist first and foremost. And that is not something I take lightly. And as an artist, you are expected, like folks who understand this, understand like when you're an artist, it's not like a negotiation. Like you have to do art. Like you have to create.
Yeah.
And
when you don't, you're depressed.
Yes. And art, in its most organic sense, is speaking about the human experience. That's why you still see petroglyphs on walls and these folks Homo sapiens was making fires and things, but they were still taking time to draw it on the wall because the art is our way of communicating that we are here, right? So when I am using art to educate, it is to communicate that we are here, but also I'm carrying on a legacy. And we have been so robbed of our knowledge of our history that we don't even that's why people can't recognize me for what I am. Because they were robbed of knowledge of who came before me that I'm continuing to exist as.
Explain. How were we robbed of that knowledge?
Because we do not have an education system that wants us to know who we are.
Oh, that is very true. So I will drink to that. Because I am a product of that education system. Cheers. You know, like I said, I never saw a black doctor, a black lawyer. I'm a product of that education system.
Yeah. I only know about this because I went to school and thankfully got kicked out of the acting conservatory at SUNY Purchase and decided that I was going to quit school. And I had a professor who was like, "You too smart to quit school. We're going to figure something out."
Umi, a thick luxury towel infused with essential oils and pre-moistened for a full body refresh in seconds. This is one of their essential oil infused towels, not wipes, okay? They have essential oil, eucalyptus, the unscented one for those of y'all that just don't like scents or whatnot. The lemon, I used this on yesterday's show. The lavender infused, as well as many other scents. To stay fresh, clean, and confident anytime and anywhere like me, visit tryumi.com today and use my coupon code TK20 to get $20 off your first order. $20, okay? This is the biggest discount code we don't ever had. Yes, sir. Let's go. Charleston, white in the wine cellar. You can't drink no wine. The judge said no.
No, mother.
I'm just gonna
And they
drink.
watching everything I do too. That's how I got
cracking.
the animal cruelty charge from somebody online watching me. Sent the video to their police department. When I got the call from Fort Worth Police Department, said, "Hey, man, we got reports that you maced the cat." I said, "Man, y'all know God well I ain't maced no cat. Y'all know I ain't that guy."
Ain't that how you got shot? Like you shot yourself in the leg?
Yeah, I accidentally shot myself in the leg in a strip club. I'm saying, man, why do you niggas just sitting there staring at me and they got girls over there? So I cock it, and it's a one-shot hair trigger, little 22. I put it in my left pocket.
Okay.
Boy, I reach in that pocket, and my thumb hit the trigger. Pow!
That is very courageous of you to say online.
That was my insecurity.
Most would never admit that shit.
Man, I used to, you can't run me because you make more money, but that's what I'm secretly dealing with. So anytime we had a disagreement, that was my way to belittle her, to make her become inferior.
Did you get a lot of coming up though?
I started having sex 4th, 5th grade. I had a high school in the 3rd grade. I heard the babysitter say that. Boy, babysitter walked in that motherfucking bathroom and saw that grown man, and I seen her eye looking at it. She said, "Who that boy got a grown man?"
There was a 911 call saying that you called 911, been shot 3 times.
Where it coming from?
In Citywide, we got a person shot. Caller says he is Charleston white and has been shot by 3 people.
These ain't black people doing this, putting out these arrest videos and body cam footage. So I don't know where it's coming from.
This is crazy that you were at the center of this whole scam
And I had no idea.
takedown.
And I had no idea.
So we talking about Shirley Strawberry's husband, Ernesto.
Ernesto,
okay.
yeah.
She was Ernesto's
Little side piece. Yeah.
What's her last name again?
Erica King.
Erica King. But she scammed for Ernesto.
Yeah.
Shirley Strawberry's husband, who works under
And
Steve
you can't
Harvey.
tell me Shirley with the strawberry letter wasn't in on it.
Shirley Strawberry is now divorced from him. She finally divorced him.
To protect herself, but she was in. Man, you can't tell me they wasn't in on it. They got me for $20,000 of my YouTube check.
And I had a professor who was like, "You too smart to quit school. We're going to figure something out." And she found out I could create my own major, and I created a Black Studies major. They didn't even have a Black Studies major at SUNY Purchase at the time. And so I created a Black Studies major. And because I was like, listen, I'm not about to stay in school to get some degree that I don't care about. I don't want to be a psychology major. I don't want to be a poli-sci major. And that was like what most people were doing.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going to get all this debt to do something that I don't even really care about. I'm not doing it. If I can't be here to learn about Blackness that I haven't gotten to learn about, I'm not doing it. And so we figured out that I could create my own major, and it was Black Studies with a concentration in the visual and performing arts.
So how did comedy come into play?
I've just been a funny bitch my whole life.
I wish I was there. That was funny. I gotta catch a show on tour.
I don't do stand-up anymore. I let it go.
Did you really quit stand-up for real?
I let it go.
Why did you quit stand-up?
I was called to something greater. I don't want to engage in capitalism the ways that I have been. And I want to be an example of how to get free.
So shots fired at Hollywood? Because like you were...
I don't even have to do shots fired. Hollywood is terrible. I mean, I have no desire to continue to be a part of a place that is so opportunistic, that also, and by the way, every day we are seeing more and more ways in which Hollywood is being turned into an even greater propaganda machine than it was before. Okay? And again, I'm an artist, and Hollywood is not about art. It's about commerce. If you're lucky, you find a way to, kind of squeeze some of that in, but we know that that's not like the norm. Ryan Coogler is an anomaly at this point.
Really, I was just going to say that. He really is.
But the fact that we can name them.
Yeah.
That should tell you everything you know. So I was doing stand-up, and it got to a point where I felt like I was fronting, and I just can't exist in that. I can never, if I feel like I'm having to put on, I have to sit and ask, what are we really doing? What are we really doing? What is the purpose of this? And when I was doing stand-up in 2024, I was on the road, and I had just started to feel like, okay, I'm a performer by like natural ability. Like if you need me to act, I can act. If you need me to sing, I can sing. If you need me to tell jokes, I can tell jokes. So may he rest in peace, Twitch, when he passed away, he had done a video that day. And people were like, oh my God, but he was so happy in the video. Like how would he have taken his own life? When you're a performer, like that just becomes part of the choreography.
Yeah, you turn on, you turn off. Yeah.
So I can do stand-up in my sleep. Also because of the way I look at the world. Like I can find the funny anywhere, right? But once October 7th happened and the genocide in Palestine, the latest phase of the genocide in Palestine took hold, I shifted as a person. I mean, the more you know, right? Once you know better, ideally you do better. But first I had to take in what I was learning. And I was learning that the government that I thought I understood, I deeply did not. I had to realize that the entire media system that I thought I understood, I did not. It was a propaganda machine. The government that I thought I understood as two opposing sides was actually two sides that work in tandem with each other and are funded by a Zionist regime that helps to push American imperialism all over the world. And when we look at, I'm from the Caribbean, my mother's from Grenada, my father is from Boston. And when we look at the migrants that come here and folks feel some type of way, it's like, well, we're destabilizing their countries all the time. And if it's not destabilizing in a direct way, it's indirect because we're releasing so much emissions with fossil fuels that people can't live in their countries anymore. Like, they're feeling the brunt of flooding. Like, as we're recording this right now, the death toll is what? 925 people died from floods in Indonesia in the past, few days. So I say all of this to say that stand-up just stopped being a vehicle through which I could be artistically responsible.
But that's how we get information to the people who are not necessarily in good spaces, because we look to the comedians to help us to understand, to help us see the bigger picture, to help us take our mind off of self so that we can see the world.
You do. I think that there's an inconvenient truth is that the ways in which we've been operating cannot continue to be the ways we're operating.
You just want to say shit.
Say it one more time.
You just want to say shit.
Well, what I'm saying is you're like, well, we do this, we do that. Well, we got to change how we're doing it. We got to change. If you're getting your truth from comedians, that's not an effective way to get the truth.
But that
switch it up.
But that contradicts everything that you said. That artists they come in various forms.
But I'm just saying, if that's the only way that you get your truth is from comedians, it's the same way that if your only way of getting news is from mainstream media, that's not effective anymore. Mainstream media is a lie.
Heard her right, guys. So she just plugged me. Yeah.
I mean, it's a lie. It's a lie. Everybody there is being run by people that do not give a damn about your audience. They do not care. about the common person. They definitely don't care about Black women.
Oh no.
They're like, we don't even see y'all as beings.
But Black women are the drivers of the TV box. They are the ones that are watching the most TV. They are the ones that are most educated and informed, but yet they always seem to try to put us under the bed.
I think that can be a blessing, because we shouldn't be looking to them anyway. And all I'm saying, though, is that there's been a couple times in this interview where you've said, like, well, people do this and people do that. And what I'm saying is, we are not in yesterday. If you think that what things are today are what they were last year, baby, you're behind. There's an entire new world happening in front of us, and you are in danger. And you're in danger in a multitude of ways. Your health is in danger because Medicare and Medicaid and just the healthcare system in general is absolutely not caring about you. And that's on a pharmaceutical level. That's on a healthcare level. Black women's maternal health is 6 times worse than everybody else. Like, we are in danger. Our children are going to schools that are telling them that their history is completely irrelevant.
Non-existent. Yeah.
Our children are going to schools where teachers are not teaching mindfulness. Like, there is no morality to their teaching. What? Like, I grew up with a teacher being like, now see, this happened and that was wrong. They shouldn't have stolen from them people, right? Like, we're being taught. Our children are being taught by people who actively see them as dangerous, right? Like, look at the number of young Black girls who are being criminalized in school. There was a young girl who was just body slammed by a damn police resource officer the other day.
Yeah, her hair was pulled. I saw the video. It was terrifying.
So I'm naming 2 things of a myriad of things, right? Yeah. So at some point we either say, okay, I'm going to prioritize my joy and my resistance. Or we say, I'm going to keep being mad about people who want me to change my priorities, even though they care about me. There are people who genuinely think I don't care about Black people. And they...
Why? Because you spoke against the Obama administration?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Obama administration was solely for the LGBTQ, okay? Don't... Go ahead. This is an interview about you. I try to leave my politics.
Just saying, like,
I try to leave my thoughts out of it. I was only in the 9th grade 3 years. I don't know shit. But go ahead.
I'm just saying there's been a concerted effort to try to discredit me.
Deem you as crazy.
What'd you say?
Deem you as crazy.
Deem me as crazy. Yeah. Deem me as problematic. Deem me as...
Now, you are problematic because you're causing problems for people who intend on hiding certain things from people. So you are problematic.
Well, I put it in quotes because the version of problematic that's being peddled, though, is that I am in the way of progress for Black people. When what I'm really in the way of is progress for oppression. That's what I'm actually in the way of. And I'm not by myself, right? I'm very lucky and fortunate to be joined by so many other folks on the ground, organizers, as well as folks on camera, as well as folks on the page, as well as folks who are not Black. We may not share the same culture, but we share the same value system. I talk about all of this in the book. And what would the ancestors say?
Let me read the book. Let me see the book real quick. We gotta.
Well, I brought you gifts.
Thank you.
So I brought you. The
interview's not over. I'm just like, when she mentioned the book, I'm like, give me the book.
So this is what would the ancestors say. It started as a one-woman show, and I started because I ended up officially ending my stand-up tour in 2024 because Zionists were getting my shows canceled. And if I've now said Zionist at least 5 times this interview.
I was gonna say. That's fired.
And so if you don't know what a Zionist is, it is somebody who is for the existence of Israel as an apartheid state. It's someone who is for the existence of, it's someone who's for the existence of Israel, but Israel has never existed without being an apartheid state. It's never existed without being in genocide. It's never existed without being an ethno state.
And so to the Black people that claim that they're Zionists as well, hear her, please.
So there's also, and they're tricking you. They're using your faith disingenuously to weaponize you for their purpose. And they are using our government to fund systems that they tell you you don't deserve. So our government uses our tax dollars to then create opportunities in Israel that we don't get here. So they have free healthcare. They have housing. They have education. In the United States, we are told we can't have any of those things because it's socialist. Okay. We are told we can't have any of those things because we need time. We are told we can't have any of these things because we don't have the money. When not just our federal government, but your local and state governments are sending millions of money to Israel to support them as a white settler colonial state in the Middle East. And I said it slow because I want you.
You got to say that one more time.
A settler colonial state. So when we talk about the United States and how they came and they murked all the Native Americans and then they took over, that's what they're doing over there. But they're doing it with our money while setting things up to then come back and do it to us here. And this is the type of thing that folks will say, oh, you crazy. No, I am not. And when we see Black folks like Cory Booker, like Kamala Harris, like Jasmine Crockett, like Hakeem Jeffries, like Bakari Sellers, when we see them supporting this, we are watching a support for the laundering of our hard-earned money to go to people who don't want to see us alive. They don't want us to have. And this is incredibly concerning to me. And I will speak about it till I am blue in the face. And we are not paying attention because we think we've got it. We think that we are as good as we're going to get here. That's what we think. We think, well, it is what it is. No, when I said I'm a part of a tradition that we didn't know about, that we don't get taught about, in the 70s, after the Civil Rights Act, after the Voting Rights Act, after the Housing Rights Act, Black people started to feel like, okay, now we're finally getting some footing.
Yeah.
So let's really get organized in loving ourselves, in knowing ourselves, because now we get to do it out loud since we don't have to be segregated anymore. And so you get people like you get the Black Arts movement that gives you Amira Baraka and the Last Poets and Gil Scott-Heron. And you get the Black Arts movement. And the Black Arts movement was a movement of down-ass Black folks that said we need to use entertainment to educate us. That is what I am a tradition of, edutainment. So I may not be doing stand-up, but I'm never not a funny.
That was funny.
Like,
I couldn't hold it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I may not be doing the typical. I'm also atypical. So what would the ancestors say started as a one-woman show that I started doing after Zionists got my shows canceled on my tour. Then folks went and got places to cancel my shows. They put up, they did email funds, like, you know, all types of, they put a truck out in front of my show in Detroit with a sign on the side of it with my face that said Amanda Seales is a Jew hater. I am not. So there was a concerted effort to shut down my livelihood. And
I did not know that, Amanda.
Yes.
So you were going through what Kanye was actively going through at the same time.
Except I am actually not Kanye West. And for what it's worth, I don't have his money. And I also did not make the connections that he did with those folks, right? And when I say those folks, I mean Zionists. I have such a history of just doing the right thing in my work. Like, I do stand-up tours and I would have voting signups at my shows. I would do drives at my shows, whether it's for school supplies or coats, or we did at that same Detroit show, we did a shoe drive for the Intibanira Foundation in the Congo, because so many people in the Congo don't have shoes and they're getting all types of diseases through the soles of their feet, which we get, and because there's no, the water filtration isn't on point, etc. And so we did a drive, and the Entrepreneur Foundation, if you send them shoes, they match it with a pair of shoes. So now you get 2 sets of shoes that are being sent over to the Congo. Then at all my stand-up shows, I would have organizers from the community come on stage at the end of the show and talk about the work that they're doing in the community and how people in the community can get together. So these are the things when you're saying like, are you on the ground? It's like, I've always been on the ground. And then it got to a point where they were like, no, you can't do that. And so I said, all right, well, they're coming for my livelihood.
So what happened with the radio? You had a radio
I'm about
deal.
to get there.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
So that's actually the radio show. I had the Amanda Seales show on Radio 1. And there was a group of Zionists that were able to contact the Kimmel Center in Philadelphia and get my shows canceled at the Kimmel Center. And so I went on Instagram and said, they're canceling my shows at the Kimmel Center. Y'all call them, to get them to not cancel it. And then it wasn't effective. And so I did another post saying, the shows are canceled. My boss at Radio 1, boss is not a fair word because we were actually in a partnership. I wasn't an employee, right? I was a contractor. But the governing person at Radio 1 that I interact with, Colby Tyner, he called my right-hand person, which he never does. He always calls me directly because he has that access. But he called her and asked her, he said, it's a sensitive subject, but would Amanda be willing to take down that video? Because they advertise with us at the radio station and they have threatened to stop advertising if she doesn't take her video
on
off.
Advertising now. Right.
Now, here's the thing. They had no jurisdiction over my content. So they were asking me to do a favor. Okay. And me being a team player, I said, okay, fine. But I also texted in the group chat and said, Colby, you should have come to me directly about that. He felt some type of way that I had said that in the group chat and not to him directly. So,
because he's got everybody thinking you work for him, but
no, everyone knows I don't work for him.
Okay.
But ego is the enemy.
Yeah.
And so when I did the next day have a call with him and I said, I just really feel like, do you think there was a better way of going about this? He stood on business and said, no, I don't think there was a better way of going about this. This is what it is. Business is business. And I don't have to agree with you on everything. So, it is what it is. And I said, okay, so then let me just take it out of that context and put it in this context. You don't have to agree with me, but this is how I expect to be treated. If you want me to do a favor for your company that goes against my integrity, you need to ask me directly to make that decision. And the only reason I went along with supporting this is because you are a Black company. That's the only reason. This is a Black owned company. So I'm not going to let them do to y'all what they're doing to me. And I felt like I could stand on that. Even though it was going against my speaking out against them, the greater win was for the greater good. Which is what I'm always looking at. Like I don't center myself in the end of the conversation. I'm gonna ask about how does it affect me? How does it affect us? How does it affect the past? How does it affect the present? So, which by the way is an indigenous way of thinking. And it's a type of thinking that we have to get back to. But that's another conversation for another time. This man did not talk to me for 6 months. This is somebody I talk to damn near every week. He didn't talk to me for 6 months. And then he sent me an email when the new CEO came in saying that he would like to introduce me to the CEO. And we should catch up, which I found greatly offensive. And I'll say this. I really revered Colby. I really revered you. I trusted you. And I looked at you as a father figure beyond just someone I was working with because you presented yourself in that way. And what happens in these capitalist spaces is people are disingenuous. And I had to learn the hard way that he did not see me as a friend. He saw me as, because we know that sometimes you work with people, you become friends.
Right.
No, he saw me as someone he was handling.
So you felt
I was talent that was being handled. And once I was no longer manageable to his opinion, I was discarded from his consciousness. And then I left him a voice note where I was very emotional about how pissed I was that this went to this point. Because I was just like, I'm just really disappointed that you are behaving this way. And then the next week, my show was canceled.
How was the ratings? Because they made it come. They came out and it was just like she wasn't funny. And then I saw the video of you saying,
when did they come out and say that?
It was. I think it was the comments that I was reading under the video saying that they had.
I said that.
Shows.
I said what they told me.
And you were talking about Ricky Smiley, saying that I guess they didn't protect you from Ricky Smiley and them making like obscene
disparaging comments about me.
you.
Yes,
and y'all work for the same company.
Correct. Yeah, but they told my right hand that I was too polarizing and not consistently funny.
What's wrong with being polarizing? Polarizing brings the numbers, though. There's a lot of funny people out here that are not polarizing. Polarizing brings the numbers. It brings the impression.
The reality is that I was anti-Zionist and I did not blindly back Kamala Harris.
Why would you do that? We didn't choose Kamala Harris. We didn't choose her. She was given to us.
And she wasn't, and I don't even like the term us, because Black women are being used and have been used by the Democratic Party. And when we talk about how tired we are, I'm like, you're tired because you're being used. You know when you go to the gym?
So you voted for Trump?
No, I didn't, but that's what people think. But you know when you go to the gym and you're tired, that's a different tired than when you ran behind some bullshit, right? Yeah. There's drained and then there's like tired. Yeah. So anyways, that's what happened with the show.
Okay. Because it's like, I'm seeing consistently, and you know how they'll say, okay, well, she was fired from the Real.
I wasn't fired from the Real.
Contract wasn't renewed.
I wasn't fired from the Real, and I did not renew my contract at the Real.
What happened? They couldn't keep no hosts. They couldn't keep no fourth host. Why? So I know it's not your problem, but Tamar was gone. I think they had another host. I can't.
No, Tamar was the only one.
She was the only one that was fired.
I don't know if she was fired, but I'm saying she was not. They had guest hosts.
Yeah,
and then they made me a full-time host.
So what happened with that?
Hey y'all, hey. This is Monique Claire, owner and head baker of Jar Jam's Baked Goods and Dessert. This is where we specialize in our sweet potato base, fresh fruit, and flavor-induced deep dish pies. And we have cakes too. We have a variety of 15 flavors. We're sure to please anyone with any flavor. Visit us and see what our customers are saying at www.jarjams.com or follow us on Instagram, Jar Jam's Baked Goods. You will taste the love in every bite.
Ladies, your period shouldn't feel like a medical emergency every month. Yamaya's Gift helps women who are tired of suffering through painful cycles, heavy bleeding, and chronic exhaustion. Founded by certified clinical herbalist Yamaya, the brand challenges the idea that surgery is the only option for uterine fibroids. Instead, women are empowered through clinical education, targeted herbal supplements, and deep nourishment. Reclaim your health by visiting yamayasgift.com. Yeah.
And then they made me a full-time host.
So what happened with that?
I decided I would not want to be a part of this anymore. I've already done this interview.
Give me my gifts.
Oh, this is a Malcolm X pin.
Oh, okay.
And this is a Harriet Tubman pin.
Thank you.
The theme is that our ancestors are always on call.
I love
so
this.
all the images. So I also illustrated the illustrations in the book. And
you did this yourself?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Look,
I got my
so
gifts.
like in the book you have.
I need you to autograph it too.
I will.
Yes.
So you have illustrations in the book. Rest in peace to our great sister Asada.
Oh.
And so
she just passed, didn't she? Yeah.
And
did you ever get a chance to communicate with her before she?
No.
Damn.
But I have our ancestors pictured with weapons often because I want us to know that they're armed, and we are armed with their knowledge and we're armed with their strength, and we need to lean into that. As for the Real, I refuse to stay in places where racism is rampant. And we were a show of multi-ethnic women who did not have control over our voices.
So they wrote the scripts for you?
Well, they would determine whether or not we could talk about certain things. I mean, one of the classics is that one of the members of the show wanted to do a segment about wine, and they said, well, Black women don't drink wine.
What? Who said that? Bitch, I got my own wine coming out next year. Shout out to Taraji P that's got her own wine.
Shout out to Taraji.
There's so many Black-owned wineries that I actually do business with. That is a lie.
So I walked away. They said it was time for contract renewal. And they said, can you give us another week? And I said, no, we're done.
Okay, so let me ask you something, because I know people are, and it's like I'm playing devil's advocate just a little bit because I don't want to seem biased in the interview. Amanda, I like you. I fuck with you. Now, yes, sometimes
the devil don't need no advocate, though.
I know he don't need no advocate. He do his work by himself. But, you know, as another black woman in this space who hasn't been afforded the same opportunities as you, they would say, damn, she had it great. Because, I mean, you've been in Hollywood. They go through
How would
resume.
they know I had it great? What does that even mean? They had it great. What does that mean? What's that based on?
Spaces that you were in, like there's so many people that you could have brought under you to train.
I don't even have the power to speak my own voice. How am I bringing those people under me?
Girl, we don't need their permission no more.
But what are you referring to?
What I'm referring to is like...
I just told you that I bring organizers onto my shows to talk about the work that they're doing on the ground. I just told you I do a free show every Wednesday, and I bring people on that show every week to talk about the work that they're doing. I mean, I don't need to be your Moses. Like I am not an entrepreneur in the way that people are constantly looking at.
That said a lot. So that said a lot that you're not an entrepreneur, because when you're in spaces like this and you see the disparities that is happening between our community or just culturally as a whole, and you see how businesses are ran and you being able to start your own and do it the way you want to do it and amplify the voices that are being silenced.
But I'm doing that right now. I do that. I've been doing that. There's more than one way to do things. You want me to create another star? That's your version of...
No, not create another star.
Well, to give another person...
I feel like, just like, what is the name of that media company that's free? To get the free radio, public radio?
But I don't want to run a media company.
But we need voices like you. Voices that
I am a voice. I don't need to run a media company. If I'm running a media company, I don't actually get to do the work. You don't run your media company.
Now, how are you just gonna put me out there?
Because it's true. You're the talent. If you were running the company, you would not have the time to be the talent.
That is very true.
So what are we talking about?
But one day I'm gonna step back.
And then you won't be the talent.
No.
So what are we talking about right now? I'm the talent. I'm the purpose. I'm here for a purpose. I know what my purpose is. You can read it in my chart. You can do my numerology. You can do all of it. My purpose is to be here as a voice in action and art to decolonize the people, to be able to be organized in their own collective liberation. That is my purpose.
Are you afraid for your life?
Afraid for my life?
Like, are you afraid that someone, because you know Candace Owens are outside right now and she's scared.
I don't know her, but I have no fear.
You don't know Candace Owens?
No. Who is that?
You've never heard of Candace Owens?
Mm-mm.
Are you punking me right now?
I don't know who that is.
Your messages are very similar, so I'm shocked to see that. I mean, granted, she was married to a white man. However,
our messages are similar.
Yeah, but she's married to a white man.
Our messages are similar.
She's going up against the same people you're going up against. She's trying to educate people.
I don't know who that is, but I'm pretty sure that if we were similar, we would be in alignment and I would know who they are. But shout out to Savvy Sav. Shout out to Brianna Joy Gray.
Okay.
Shout out
Shout out.
Shout out. Shout out. Shout out
All
to
I'm gonna say
Prem
is that-
Thacker. Shout out to Mark Wayne. Shout out to Greg Stoker. Shout out to Nico House. Shout out to Eugene Puryear. Shout out. Shout out to Claudia de la Cruz. Shout out.
Now, when this clip, I don't want you to say I'm being messy with this clip when it go viral. When I ask you about Candace Owens and you're like, who is that? That alone is going to, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I just asked the question because aside from the fact that she is married to a white man, however, your messages are very similar. You may not be in alignment together, but
what are her messages?
Her messages are against the same systems that you are exposing, the Zionists, the Jews, what they're doing over there in the Middle East, how money is being laundered and funneled to...
Is that the comprehensive message that she's pushed.
And that there is a government that is just not on our side, that is currently orchestrating right now a direct takedown of people who aren't, citizens of this country. You know,
Is this person a supporter of Black liberation?
she's a supporter of liberation.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
Funny. I don't know how I've never came across her.
And she's a Black woman.
Crazy.
This is funny. However, back to Amanda Seales. That's what we're here for. So Candace will be all right. She got enough viewers. You know, she'll be over there tussling with them white people, and them white men be dragging her down, calling her crazy. She's lost it. Her rockets are off. Like, they are really calling her every name in the book because she is loud and boisterous, and she points out the systematic oppression and what, you know, is happening in the Middle East with, you know, our own tax dollars being sent over there and we're being displaced. I mean, she's on her. And she has about, I want to say, on an average live, about 200,000 people watching her. And she is demonetized. They have demonetized her. They have tried to take her down. She has sued Meta because they attempted to take her down and they put her back up. So she's gone through a lot of the things that you have experienced and are still experiencing. And she does it for free. She'll go to colleges and speak for free to students to educate them on politics and on their rights and on things like that. But like I said, the thing that kind of does cloud where it's coming from is if you have, just like you said, she's a talent. Her husband is a white man running the company. So that kind of leaves a stain on her. Like, on whose side are you really on?
Well, what is the company that he runs?
He runs the media company.
What's the media company called?
I don't know the media company name. What is it called? It's some weird...
Yeah, you should find out the name of the media company and the other media that they produce.
Okay, we can do that too.
That'll help you probably be able to determine if her and I are actually similar.
Okay. So I just feel like you guys, I was shocked that you guys have never done work together before. And that was another thing too, because I was just like, I'm shocked that you guys haven't come together. And I mean, granted, she was best friends with Charlie Kirk. And I don't know how you feel about Charlie Kirk. Did you know Charlie Kirk?
No, I did not know Charlie Kirk.
Okay. So... I didn't either.
He had a lot to say about me.
Really? Mm-hmm. Like what?
But I have no interest in spending my time talking about racists.
Shots fired. All right. See, this is why I like you. Now, my favorite, despite everything that these misconceptions about you, and I'm glad that you're here clearing it all up. Because, you know, the 3-minute clips, they go a long way, especially when they have 10 million views on them and they've taken and altered and cut and paste. That's why I always ask for air checks. I always ask for, give me the whole footage, because you're not going to, you know, cut, paste. If I said it, I'm going to say it. You don't need to clip it. I'll say it again. Right. When I saw you doing the debate against the students.
They weren't students.
They weren't students? Mm-mm. Were they actors?
I believe so. I mean, we in LA, so
I thought they was kids. Amanda.
No, there was older folks in there too. Mm-mm.
Amanda, you ate down.
Thank you. I would expect so, because to say you're a Black conservative is absolute nonsense.
You know you can't say that.
Say what?
You're a Black conservative.
That's what they call themselves, Black conservatives.
But we ain't, even though they are, but they can't say that with their chest. You know, they can't say
because
that.
It's an oxymoron. It's literally incomplete. It cancels out each other. You can't be a Black conservative. It's complete nonsense. To call yourself a Black conservative is to say that you are literally weaponizing yourself against your people, against yourself. So you're no longer, I mean, you can be a Black conservative in name, I guess, because you are Black and you are choosing to weaponize your identity against your people. But if you actually understand what conservatism is, you're just harming yourself. So that was, and in order for you to be a Black conservative, your identity has to be propped up on lies and falsehoods. So there was no way that they were going to be able to actually have a real conversation, because they weren't willing to learn truth or to live in the truth. And anyone who considers themselves a Black conservative has decided that the truth is simply not valuable to them. They will only cherry pick the truths that are most effective to their opportunism.
So where do you stand as far as your political values?
I am a radical leftist.
That was very bold. You said that with your chest.
I mean, that's what I am.
Most people will not admit that they are radical at all.
You're just not hanging around the right people. And that's really, and I don't say that with any shade.
No, I don't take it that way.
But I'm just saying, because I want people to understand that. Because I used to think that that was a very unique thing to be until I realized that no, that's actually very common. I'm just not in the right circles. I'm around a bunch of people chasing a check and chasing fame. Not because they want to feed their kids, but because they want to feed their ego.
But you were once them.
I was never them. I was just in the same game as them. And that's why I left, because I realized, oh, that's what's happening here. Like, I used to always be, that's why you always hear about Amanda being an outsider. Amanda is difficult, etc. Because I've never fit in. Because I'm not willing to do what y'all gonna do. I'm not willing to play what y'all gonna play. I'm not willing to be quiet when y'all want to be quiet. I'm not gonna do it. And that's the way that you're supposed to behave. You're not supposed to say the person's name who shit on you in public and tried to humiliate you. Nah, that's supposed to be, you're supposed to hold that down and make it everything look pretty. F that. No, that is crazy. And she tried to play me. I'ma say it. And so this is the, false world of smoke and mirrors that people want to exist in. And I was always choking on the smoke. And eventually, thankfully, Black media said, get the fuck out.
So you are blackballed.
What does that even mean? I'm blackballed.
You can't go back and work in Hollywood.
I don't know. I've never tried. I'm not interested. You know? I'm not interested. I'm also anointed. Like no one can stop me. I'm anointed. And I say that confidently because stopping you is not about impediment of doing this thing. It's like, can you pivot? Can you keep pivoting? Can you keep pivoting? And even if they kill me today, you didn't stop me.
Well, we got your voice here. It's going to live on forever.
That's my point. That's my point. That's why we write. That's why all my creatives out there and all my people who support creatives, you have to understand that it is more than just doing the thing. Your husband is from Mali. Timbuktu was a land of knowledge long before these was doing anything.
She said, I knew I loved her.
You from Florida. I grew up in Orlando.
See, they don't understand that.
I grew up in Orlando.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes, Dr. Phillips High School. DP. DP. Yes, and the white people who get it, when you say they like agreed.
They agree.
Because they know what that is.
They call themselves in Florida.
Listen, my point though about Timbuktu is that it was a land of learning. It was a library of immense grandeur, and people have been protecting the books from Timbuktu to this day. Like they literally smuggled books out in Palestine and Gaza. They're doing the same thing. They're protecting the literature and the books because the books is the first thing that they burn. The books are the first thing that these people is generous, that these human forms come in and burn because they want you to forget. They want to burn the memory. I heard someone say that the other day and it was so true. And so that's why we have to write things down. Again, this was a one-woman show. I started doing this show after they canceled my tour. After I had to cancel my tour because I knew that I still needed to be on the ground.
Yes.
I needed to be on the ground. And so I started doing a one-woman show. I did that show once a month for free every month in 2025 for the first 7 months at the People's Forum, a free show. And I would also do the live stream for free. And I did What Would the Ancestors Say? And I realized after I bought my memoir back from Simon & Schuster that I still needed to put a book out. And I took the month of June to think about it. And then I took July and August to write it. And then I self-published it. And I learned how to lay out the book in the InDesign program so that I would know how to do books myself. So I would know how to actually lay out books so that I could be a part of doing what we need to do to keep record.
Well, we're going to link the book below
in
the description box so that they
can I say this to you? This is how I want you to read the book.
Okay.
I want you to read each section and take a beat. Don't read it all the way through. Read the section and live with it.
Okay.
Think about it. Let it marinate in your brain. Sleep on it. Because I call it a high vibrational social media scroll. Because each section is content presented to you in a different way. Some is in stand-up form, some is in lecture, some is in character, some is in dialogue, etc. And this is how I want all my books to be, because this is how I am. I'm giving you different flavors because different messages need to be given to you in different ways.
That's my point exactly. You're multidimensional.
Correct. And so we don't do enough thinking. We don't do enough why. We have to change how we are operating, y'all. We have to ask ourselves, why am I calling this? Why am I calling this? We have to ask ourselves, why am I beefing with this broad? Why? And then ask why again, because the first answer is typically not going to be the real answer. Why? And when you get to the answer that you really are being honest with yourself about, you will see things change in your life. When you start admitting to yourself that you're jealous and you start dealing with that, things will change in your life. I'm speaking from experience. When you start admitting to yourself that you are dating your mother in male form, you will start to see things change. When you start admitting to yourself why you are spending money or why you are stealing money, and you get to the real bottom that it makes you feel good because no one made you feel good and you deserve to feel good as a child, you will start to see things change. And until you change you will not see a change in the world around you. And I mean that with all of the love, And I say that as someone who has gone through this process. I have gone through the process of ego, of getting over myself. And it has been the most illuminating and freeing process. And it's the difference between a midlife crisis and a midlife awakening.
A lot of people do shrooms to do that.
I'm afraid of shrooms. But it's true. People, it breaks down a barrier.
Don't do drugs. Okay, that's not what we're saying.
It breaks down a barrier. And
I don't want them to say, I got the idea of doing shrooms for a minute since Tasha K. No, the fuck you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Look, okay.
But I say all that to say that I was also very fortunate to be successful monetarily in showbiz. And I understand that to have been the mission that I had to go on for the next mission.
Okay.
And so that's where we are now.
So to people, and that is excellent the way you close with that. So to people who have these misconceptions about you, that you were thrown out of Hollywood, they didn't want you, you were problematic, uncontrollable, just loud, belligerent,
Where have they even seen evidence of this? Like, that's the part for me that's always funny. Like, where is there evidence of this? Like, people accuse me of things they have no evidence of. I'm still being accused of lying on a nigga.
How did you get the autism diagnosis?
I got the autism diagnosis because I sought out an autism diagnosis. And because I made sure that a self-diagnosis is valid. And the fact that y'all think I would be loudly expressing something that is invalid speaks to you, not me, because I don't live in that. I don't never be on no lying bullshit.
But people thought like that was your way of trying to
I know, because people are nonsense. Because people are nonsense.
So you are autistic. On what end of the spectrum? You're high functioning?
Well, that language is frowned upon.
Okay.
Essentially, though, I am neurodivergent, and I have had many scholars understand this. And the fact that strangers on the internet, for some reason, feel that their point of view is more valid than those in my personal circle. It is fascinating. But what I will say is that diagnosis saved my life.
Really? How
Without
so?
question. Because it allowed me to understand the way that I exist and function on a number of levels. It allowed me to understand that there are things about myself that I cannot change, and that my whole life I've been trying to change it for other people and other reasons. And it causes me such deep shame that I can't change it, only to find out, bitch, you was never going to be able to change it.
True.
That's how you're wired.
Yeah.
2, it taught me that there are tools that I can use to exist in this realm in a way that is not so goddamn violent. Like, when you don't feel like you are in your skin all the time, it feels crazy. It feels like the world is against you all the time. I remember I wrote a sign that said, just live. And I put it on my closet door because I was really trying to just convince myself to like, just be casual and just live and be comfortable. But I never felt comfortable because I could never understand how my brain and my body operated. And then I learned that there's tools like,
every woman got that one wig. Stop forcing that one wig to fit every version of you. Picasso Wigs is changing the game with the 2-wig reality. Your hair should match your schedule. Their hand-selected 13x6 HD wig pairings give you the maximum functional value of 2 contrasting aesthetics. Now transition effortlessly from a sharp, low-maintenance daily cut to long, luxurious extensions for special events. Same woman, distinctly different vibes. Claim your masterpiece duo pack at PicassoWigs.com. Use my coupon code TK10 for 15% off before the sale ends. Everything is allegedly, even my name is allegedly. Yes, the Everything is Allegedly Tour all-day experience is officially on sale, okay? Now, you know we just not showing up for a little show and then go home, okay? Y'all know we spilling wine all day. If you came to DC, then you already know what it is. Now, the experiences kick off at 2 p.m. with different events, great conversation with winos, plenty of networking and mixing mingle opportunities, okay? We sipping together. Now, doors open at 5 p.m. Then it's time for me and my people to hit the stage, all right? I know y'all been waiting on this to be announced. I have too. I am super excited and I cannot wait to let y'all see what we got in store for y'all, all right? So come laugh, sip, gossip, and experience all of that with me on the Everything is Allegedly Tour all-day experience. Tickets available right now on TashaKOnStage.com. That is TashaKOnStage.com. Man, that was a lot to remember. Damn. Y'all better bring y'all ass out for real. That was a lot to memorize. All right, I'm out. And if you a TashaKLive.com member, you got to go to TashaKLive.com to get your discount code, okay? Because y'all VIP. Y'all know what it is.
and then I learned that there's tools like sleep. You know, we get taught that we got to grind and sleep is the cousin of death and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, not me.
And, you know, when I began to understand my autism, I began to understand the things that affect me specifically. And that's the thing that they say, you know, with autism, you meet one autistic person, you met one autistic person. The brain and the existence is going to be tailored to that individual. I was always ruminating. You know what ruminating is? Ruminating is when you land in a thought.
Okay.
You keep coming back to it. You keep coming back to it.
That happens when I smoke weed. I'll be trying to figure out like how many.
But I thought this was a normal thing.
Okay.
And people then, when I start asking people, they're like, nah, that doesn't happen to me. I'm stuck in the thought for days, only to find out that that is my default function and my executive function operating in a certain way. And I've had to learn that when I get stuck in my executive function, I have to draw to get myself out of that. Like I got sexually assaulted and I had a trigger happen.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah,
Thank you, babes. And I had a trigger happen. And I thought, I'm good. No, I wasn't good. And so I started ruminating. And the more you are in that, you're going to spiral. And that's how people end up taking their own lives. And so you have to learn tools to get you out of that. And so I learned that my tool is I got to draw. I got to engage. I sometimes reverse executive function and default function, but I got to engage the other function to get me out of that. And so drawing does that. So like these tools have been the key to me being able to be regulated and to be able to live in a peaceful body that understands its purpose. And people who have met me along this path have either seen that shift and said, wow, I see you. Or they have seen that shift and said, oh my God, what's wrong with her? Because they are not understanding the evolution as progress. And I know that it is. And there's a book called Is This Autism? And it was written by clinicians and psychologists who actively are studying non-white boys because that is how autism has been based.
That's how the whole medical system has been based.
Exactly.
It's a white man. I've been trying to tell people that, like, when
Exactly.
they say, oh, I'm not supposed to lift weight, I'm not supposed to have muscles, I'm supposed to be skinny. When I see black women in their 50s and their necks is sunken in and they're not lifting weight, I'm like, no, baby, you're supposed to be thin. They based that on a white man.
But even this idea of, oh, she was just using that to get out of, et cetera, that presupposes that there's something for me to get out of. Like that presupposes that I needed autism as a excuse for something else. And I don't. I have no excuse to have. Like, a lot of you don't like me because you just don't like how I talk. You don't like what I talk about. You don't like that I don't act like the people that you have decided are the standard. And thus, you form an opinion.
That was a bar. That was a bar.
I mean, that's just what it is. And then other people love that. They love that I'm not like any of these other. They love that I expose these who are bullshit. They love that I don't show up like the standard has been shown to us. And that is who I am interested in interacting with, because those are people who have said, I'm ready to decolonize. I'm ready to be a part of shifting the axis of this world into a different direction. And until we really open our minds and understand that the world existed long before you and I, long before the United States, long before even the dynasties of China, et cetera, we're not really having the same conversations. People want to talk to me about Democrats and Republicans, and I'm talking to them about indigenous knowledge. Like, we not having the same conversation, and I'm so lucky that I have.
To me, what is that word you said when they talk about
ruminating?
There's ruminating Democrats.
But that happened because
ruminating. I'm like, get the fuck out of there, bro. Like,
but that changed when I started having people around me that know things that I don't know, and that I can say I don't know, and they will tell me without judgment. And then we can have exchange. And that's what doesn't happen on the internet, because people expect you to say everything flawlessly, even though no one says anything flawlessly. And we don't have a space for philosophizing. We don't have a space for exploration of intellect. And we have to bring that back. We have to be able to have spaces where we can throw shit at the wall and be like, does that make sense? And then the other people can be like, I guess this part does, but that part doesn't. Oh, what do you mean? And that's what we're missing. That's what we're missing. So when you're talking about being on the ground, like, that's what the spaces of my book tour are, is me talking. People ask questions. I answer the questions. But what really happens is in the line is when people start talking with each other. When I had my Amanda Land Summit this year, same. On Patreon, we have a whole, my Patreon be existing without me.
Because you just keep the conversations going.
Well, they have a whole community.
Yeah.
They started a book club. I didn't even know. They were like, your book is our next book. I was like,
my Patreon, when would y'all want to invite me? Yeah.
So I know it seems like I'm ranting at this point. I'm just really trying to.
A couple things I want to support you on.
Okay.
Is, I am ADHD.
Neurodive.
Yes.
All right.
Big time. That ninth grade in the 3 years, 3 years in the ninth grade, that's the one. 3 years in the ninth grade, very real. I could not figure out how to be normal in school. All I wanted to do was tell jokes, read my encyclopedias. I would go look for newspapers and read. I didn't want to sit and listen to these teachers who did not want to be there all day. I could tell they didn't even want to be there. And I don't want to be around people.
How'd you crack that code?
I'm going to say, honestly, I just recently cracked it in the last few years after 10 years of therapy trying to understand.
Did you get a clinical diagnosis, or did you just read your body and use knowledge?
It was both. I read my body first. Mm-hmm. Then I went and spoke to my therapist, psychologist, and they said, you may be right.
That is the exact same process that I went through.
When I hear other women that are in powerful positions, or even just regular everyday women just talking about the way they manage life and how, laundry would just be so hard for them to do. And my laundry would pile up. And I would throw it on the bed.
I'm sleeping next to a full mountain range of clothes right now.
But for me, I felt guilty. It was my girlfriend, and she is my best friend. Oh my God. I saw her at 22 years old with a housekeeper that did her laundry. And I said, oh my God. So I would budget. And ever since I was in my early 20s, I made sure that I had somebody doing my laundry so I could function. Mm-hmm. So the things that it was so hard for me to get up out of bed and do, sometimes I don't want to get out of bed till 12 o'clock. I can't explain it. I'm up, I'm reading, I'm alert, I'm spending time with myself, but I do not want to deal with people because I feel like I'm going to have to put on. They're going to want so much from me and I don't have it to give because I'm trying to get the dopamine in my brain to make me feel like I feel like being here and doing this.
Are you medicated?
No, I'm not. So
do you think that would help you at all?
No. I don't, because I've learned myself and I understand myself and I know what my triggers are. I know when it's time to dial it back. I know when it's time to say it's my alone time. I know when it's time to say it's time for me to work. And thankfully for my entire team, they are every single piece of me that I cannot get to function. Got you. Normally.
Yep.
You understand?
That's beautiful. I love that for you.
Yeah, and I love them for that. And I remind them all the time. Where they be like, Tasha can't make a decision. And I'm like, that's my ADHD. Make it for me. And when you make it, I may kick it back because it may come in the moment. For my comedy shows, most people prep all year for their comedy. I may try to do some prep, but my comedy may come 2 hours before the show starts. And they're like, that is insane. As a comedian, that's not right. They work on their jokes the entire year.
I've never written a joke down. I didn't write that one woman show down until I wrote it in the book. I performed it off the top of my head with bullet points.
Because our brains are hyper-focused. And when I read an article from Harvard, they were talking about the scientists. They did a study on the MIT professors and the scientists that worked at MIT. And they said 98% of them were autistic. 98% of them were ADHD because they would hyper-focus and help to not only revolutionize the world, but evolve. Because there are people that are here, just like you, that are here you may not like it when you're in this, but that's your power.
No, I mean, the rumination is not the power because the rumination doesn't advance. The hyperfocus advance.
Right.
The rumination isn't hyperfocus. The rumination is like getting stuck on a hamster wheel.
Okay.
Whereas the hyperfocus is like running a cross-country race. Like you're creating distance. Like you're actually you're seeing new things.
Because I hyperfocus and then I'm exhausted.
Yes.
For the next 7 days.
Yes, you're like, oh my God, I gave everything and I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so many of us do that and we don't know what to call it because we're Black women. And calling us anything, like we started with this interview, becomes a problem.
Right.
If we label us anything, it becomes an issue. Whereas I see it as it becomes a truth. I am an angry Black woman. I am angry that my sisters are dying at ridiculous rates. Of heart disease, of maternity, of maternal, of stress. I am angry that I live in a nation that lies to us and has been for its inception. And people still aren't sure how to make it make sense. I'm angry about these things. And that anger is something that I think fuels me. And when you said, how do you remain happy? That anger is refined into purpose, and I am happiest in my purpose.
So you're fueled by toxic drama?
No. That's what you got out of that?
That's what I got out of that because a lot of people don't move if they don't have anything that makes them angry. So
I am not fueled by toxic drama. I am fueled by the revelation of injustice in pursuit of justice. That is not toxic drama. Okay. Or else I would have stayed in my last relationship. No.
Yeah, speaking of relationships, any kids?
Kids? Ugh.
Are you serious? You don't want kids?
Girl, I'm 44.
What that mean?
The ship has sailed for me.
Black women can have babies up until
the ship has sailed. I do not want kids. I have 5 cats and a dog. I love being a cat lady. And the other day I was driving and I had like my dog and my 3 cats in the car going to the vet. And I was like, wow, this is the life you chose. You actually chose this life. And I love that I chose my life.
So do you date?
Who am I dating?
I don't know.
Who's gonna date me? Who am I dating?
I don't know. There are other people like you that you could date.
Name them.
I don't know because I'm not a matchmaker, but
There are not. And you know what's a beautiful thing is when you come to realize that's not an ambition of mine. I don't pursue that. If it were to happen, great.
why are you saying that you? Because I don't feel like a woman like pursues anything. I feel like we attract.
Same. It's just not on my list. If someone comes along and they're doing the things, great. But I keep telling people, I'm like, the only way I'm going to end up in a relationship is by accident. It's literally going to be that I wake up one day like, hold up, is this a relationship?
That's called a one night stand.
No, because I ain't fucking. But it's literally like.
So do you pay for it?
No.
Because I was in Panama just a few days ago at Panama City.
I haven't had sex or been kissed in 2 years.
Do you think that
And
has
my
a lot
skin
to
is
do with
clear.
your anchor too sometime?
No. I think that's actually very unintellectual for you to ask.
No.
Yes.
Because as Black women, we have to release.
So I don't have a vibrator?
Can't do no vibrator. I can't do no plastic. Where you get it from? Candy Coated Nights? Where you get it from?
No. Lilo. And it's great. And I actually got it when we did an episode at
She remember
we
when she
did an episode. No, because we did an episode in Insecure.
Yeah.
We did an episode at a sex convention, and I remember Natasha being like, "This one is actually really good," and so I bought it. Okay. So my security guard is
now your
losing
security
his
guard.
mind.
Now let's talk about the security guard
No,
because
we're not doing any of that.
He's
so. Do you have any further questions?
I don't have no further questions. Amanda, thank you. See, was this bad?
No, but I also had to make sure it
You
wasn't
had
going
your
to be.
guard up.
Why wouldn't I? The last time I didn't have my guard up, an ex-football player tried to play me on his own channel.
Who you talking about? Shay Shay?
Ugh.
And he got played by Gabby. And at $20 million. Cheers.
As my mother would say, retribution come fast. As my Black mother
Go, Gabby.
would say, retribution come fast.
Go, Gabby. Go, Gabby. Go, Gabby. Like, yeah, I remember that. So, but I'm glad that, because I know, transparency moment. When I did ask Amanda, she said, hell no. I'm not coming on your show. It's not
I
a safe
definitely
space.
didn't say that.
Well, she said no. She said, my show is not a safe space. And I said,
Thank you.
listen.
This is why, but that right there, that's why people think of me a certain way, because people remix
But as
all
a
the
Black
time.
woman, I understand what you mean, though. I'm
But
not going to
people
remix that.
Like that, how you just said that, that's how they're going to receive it. Oh, Amanda said, hell no, I'm not coming on your show because
She
it's safe
said it's
space.
not a safe space, okay?
And
So-
how did I say it? Kindly
It was very nice.
and respectfully.
It was very nice. And then I came back and was like, it's very safe. And listen, I'm going to follow your lead.
And I said, let me sleep on it and
Yes.
I'll circle back tomorrow.
And I said I wasn't going to stop. I was going to keep begging. I was going to keep scratching.
And what did
at
I
your
do?
door.
Did I circle back the next
She
day?
did and said yes. And now we have her here. Okay?
And your team has been lovely
Thank
and
you.
incredible
I need my
communicators.
Yelp review. Go ahead, give my Yelp.
Yeah. I just want you to know though that in the effort of content, people misrepresent me on a regular basis. And they think that it doesn't carry, but it does. And I'm a person. I'm an actual person who has the repercussions of that. And so what happens a lot of times is people use me as content, ignoring the fact that I exist in the world and the content that they're creating is going to affect my actual life. Okay. And so there has to be a certain preciousness that we carry for each other. And we need to start doing that as soon as possible. And I'm glad that we were able to start here.
Thank you. And I can't wait to have you back. I'm hoping to slide into your event tonight.
Mm.
You're on tour right now?
Yes, the book tour is going down. My mission-driven book tour for What Would the Ancestors Say? And you can go to my website, amandaseals.com, and find out when I'm coming to a city near you.
Yes, I cannot wait.
When is this airing?
We'll probably get it out probably the week before Christmas, maybe.
Oh, okay. So then I won't say anything yet.
Well, I mean, we're still going to link the book so they can buy the book. So
okay.
I need it autographed and everything. And yeah, I'm so happy. I love spaces like this. I love conversations like this. It's just, in my line of business, I love gossip. I can't help it. It's me. So, and I've tried to change that, but I can't. I love and I'm obsessed with people's business and what makes them who they are. I promise you, I've tried. That's why I thought something was wrong with me. And I did 10 years of therapy only to find out this is me. So good luck. Listen, we're still recording though, so we're you know. But listen, thank you, and I hope that you'll come back. And whenever you got another book or whatever you got going on, or what's going on culturally, I would love to have your, you know, just your voice just amplified on the platform. So
your homework, look up Zionism and start following some accounts that are actually independent. Drop Site News, Gray Zone News, Breaking Points, Brianna Joy Gray, Current Affairs Mag, to name a few. And that's just a few.
And those are X pages and Instagram pages?
Those are Instagram pages and also websites. Okay. Mondweiss, Jacobin Mag. You know, and at first you might feel like, oh, but push yourself, push yourselves. We are more capable than they have ever allowed us to know that we are. And never forget, at one point in time, it was literally to learn how to read. Anything that this nation has told you shouldn't do, you should be making it your business to do tenfold. Mwah.
All right, Amanda Seals, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Yes.
Thank you, love.